The number of things that find symbolic representation in the dream is not great. The human body as a whole, parents, children, brothers and sisters, birth, death, nakedness, and a few others. The only typical, that is, regular representation of the human person as a whole is in the form of a house, as was recognized by Schirner, who indeed wished to credit this symbol with an overwhelming significance which it does not deserve. It occurs in dreams that a person, now lustful, now frightened, climbs down the fronts of houses. Those with entirely smooth walls are men, but those which are provided with projections and balconies to which one can hold on are women. Parents appear in the dream as king and queen, or other persons highly respected. The dream in this instance is very pious. It treats children and brothers and sisters less tenderly. They are symbolized as little animals or vermin. Birth is almost regularly represented by some reference to water. Either one plunges into the water or climbs out of it, or rescues someone from the water, or is himself rescued from it, i.e., there is a mother relation to the person. Death is replaced in the dream by taking a journey, riding in a train, being dead by various darksome, timid suggestions, nakedness by clothes and uniforms. You see here how the lines between symbolic and suggestive representation merge one into another. In contrast to the paucity of this enumeration, it is a striking fact that the objects and subject matter of another sphere are represented by an extraordinarily rich symbolism. This is the sphere of the sexual life, the genitals, the sex processes, and sexual intercourse. The great majority of symbols in the dream are sex symbols. A remarkable disproportion results from this fact. The designated subject matters are few, their symbols extraordinarily profuse, so that each of these objects can be expressed by any number of symbols of almost equal value. In the interpretation, something is disclosed that arouses universal objection. The symbol interpretations, in contrast to the many-sidedness of the dream representations, are very monotonous. This displeases all who deal with them, but what is one to do? Since this is the first time in these lectures that we speak of the sexual life, I must tell you the manner in which I intend to handle this theme. Psychoanalysis sees no reason for hiding matters or treating them by innuendo, finds no necessity of being ashamed of dealing with this important subject, believes it is proper and decent to call everything by its correct name, and hopes most effectively in this manner to ward off disturbing or salacious thoughts. The fact that I am talking before a mixed audience can make no difference on this point, just as there is no special knowledge either for the Delphic oracle or for flappers, so the ladies present among you have by their appearance in this lecture hall made it clear that they wish to be considered on the same basis as the men. The dream has a number of representations for the male genital that may be called symbolic, and in which the similarity of the comparison is, for the most part, very enlightening. In the first place, the holy figure 3 is a symbolical substitute for the entire male genital. The more conspicuous and more interesting part of the genital to both sexes, the male organ, has symbolical substitute in objects of like form, those which are long and upright, such as sticks, umbrellas, poles, trees, etc. It is also symbolized by objects that have the characteristic, in common with it, of penetration into the body and consequent injury. Hence, pointed weapons of every type, knives, daggers, lances, swords, and in the same manner firearms, guns, pistols, and the revolver, which is so suitable because of its shape. In the troubled dream of a young girl, pursuit by a man with a knife or a firearm plays a big role. This, probably the most frequent dream symbolism, is easily translatable. Easily comprehensible, too, is the substitution for the male member of objects out of which water flows, faucets, water cans, fountains, as well as its representation by other objects that have the power of elongation, such as hanging lamps, collapsible pencils, etc. That pencils, quills, nail files, hammers, and other instruments are undoubtedly male symbols is a fact connected with a conception of the organ, which likewise is not far to seek. The ordinary characteristic of the member of being able to raise itself against the force of gravity, one of the phenomena of erection, leads to symbolic representations by balloons, aeroplanes, and, more recently, zeppelins. The dream has another, far more expressive way of symbolizing erection. It makes the sex organ the essential part of the whole person and pictures the person himself as flying. The female genital is symbolically represented by all those objects which share its peculiarity of enclosing a space capable of being filled by something, viz., by pits, caves, and hollows, by pitchers and bottles, by boxes and trunks, jars, cases, pockets, etc. The ship, too, belongs in this category.